So on January 16th, Jayber received a huge buff, alongside the introduction of Innas and weapon cores. One of the biggest QOL that they did was allowing him to just place turrets without having to desummon them. This will actually save you a lot of time, so that you can deal more DPS with your gun and whatnot, which is really good, and I'm glad they did that. But what really caught my attention is the multi-purpose gun buff, which they now added an AoE to it, as well as increasing its magazine capacity. The cooldown on the skill is also relatively low, so if you have the right gun set up, you can have 24 rounds per magazine, which would pretty much eliminate MP issues. And the nice thing about this buff is that you can use this build for pretty much all content, including Colossus Intercept and Void Erosion. The only downside though is that you can't hit the weak points on Defiler to cool it down faster, nor can you destroy the yellow barrier on mobs that requires firearm attack. And so, the very first important mod that you should have no matter what is the increased HP mod, and it's absolutely crucial in any situation, so don't even think about going for a glass cannon build. Nimble fingers and MP conversion are also important, so that you can have as much uptime as possible on your multi-purpose gun. Spear and shield can stay level 1 if you don't want to spend gold or catalyst for it, because it will give the same amount of skill power regardless of level. Non-attribute whatever thing that I don't know how to pronounce is pretty good, because it gives a whole 10% non-attribute skill power. And then since the skill is a singular type, I'll go for focus on singular as well as singular amplification, since I'm not building crit. And the reason why crits kinda sucks on Descendants like Jayber is due to him having only 5% base crit chance, and that is on top of Colossus having crit resistance as well, which will kinda make it impossible to build crit. And lastly, I chose multi-talented instead of dangerous ambush, because multi-talented feels kinda more consistent for me since it always proc the damage boost. As for the Transcendent mod, you can just put anything you want except turret engineering, because it will turn your multi-purpose gun into a non-offensive skill. And as for non-Colossus contents, you can just change either the non-attribute whatever thing or spear and shield into a range increase mod. And as for your gun mods, you can just use about any guns, including purple guns, and preferably a gun that has a high base movement speed as well. Mag capacity increase mods are absolutely necessary, as well as fire rate. And mods that reduce recoil are also recommended, because Jayber's unique weapon actually got insane recoil. It shakes so friggin' much whenever I fire the weapon that I actually miss some of my shots, although it could be skill issue, I guess. Your weapon traits also apply to the unique weapon, so try to get more mag capacity as well as recoil. Although Weapon Core, on the other hand, doesn't work on unique weapons. Slayer Component 4-set effect is the best in slot for pretty much all ability users in general. And the increased skill cost also doesn't affect multi-purpose gun build as much, since it barely consumes MP. As for Reactor, I kinda prefer one stat to be Colossus stuff, and the other will be cooldown reduction instead of non-attribute increase. But I kinda got lazy to farm one.